it is again immoral, insensitive, irrational, and unreasonable for anyone to argue that the attacks were stage managed. I think someone must be taking us for fools to expound such a preposition. If it is true that it is we, the united opposition, who are responsible for stage managing that attack, the state has the requisite machinery. By now, they should have arrested the person who is responsible. If it is His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, he is not above the law. He is not immune to the law. If the state has evidence that he was responsible for that attack, they should then be in a position to arrest him and have him prosecuted and taken through the due process. Again, it is laughable for somebody who says that he has the requisite intellectual capacity to discern things to say that Rigathi Gachagua also was in control of the GK vehicle. That, because he has a bulletproof vest, he has what they are calling the military gear, that he also has the capacity to go wielding the AK-47 that we saw. Why has the state not arrested those individuals who are in possession of those firearms and interrogated them to know the nexus between them and the person who sent them? Is Rigathi Gachagua so powerful to defeat the state machinery and the state crafts? I think we are above that to be treated to that kind of, I don't want to call it nonsense, because I don't want to say, I don't want to be accused of having used unparliamentary language. But again, you're pushing the joke too far. The fact is, the state was involved in that particular attack. I was present when we visited the office of the IG, and he gave his words in presence of all the leaders that they are going to investigate this offense. Somebody just quoted that when individuals were assaulted in a club somewhere in Eldoret, playing pool, actions have been taken. And you remember that assault in Eldoret was not life-threatening. The attacks in Odaya were life-threatening. And this is not just one attack. We enumerated about 23 incidences where these attacks have been conducted. I mean, how indolent would the state be to accommodate a man who is stage managing 2023 series of attacks and no action is taken against him? I think, again, you taking us for fools. So we must have a candid conversation. When we had a meeting with IG, there was a litany of police everywhere, from all the way from Gituge, where we were for the church service, to Kiriaine, to Odaya. Police vehicles were the ones that were actually clearing the route for us. Of course, that was the PR. The question we kept on asking is, if you have this ability to marshal this kind of police forces to clear the roads for us, albeit uninvited, why have you not operationalized the same magnitude of police officers to investigate the attack that was at Othaya? So it looks like in this country, there are individuals who are supposed to enjoy some rights and some freedoms in the Constitution, and there are others who are not allowed to enjoy them. For us, we have taken a position that we are going to push our Constitution to the extent of the limits that we can be able to push it. Because our rights are guaranteed and our freedoms are guaranteed in that particular Constitution, as much as of those that profess the William Ruto ideologies, and even for them that are completely apolitical. The rights therein accrues to all the Kenyans, and it's not a favor that one seeks to be given to him or her by the state or by whoever is responsible. So today we had a serious engagement. The people are determined, they are decided that Mr. William Ruto must go home. And when you listen to them, they have the reason. It's actually them who are even saying, we want Mr. William Ruto to go home because there were murders that happened in 2023 during the Azimio protests. In 2024, people were killed. 2025, people were killed. Albeit, you must mention that there was a girl, 12 years, called Bridget from Dumberi, who was killed by a police bullet, and nothing has taken place to investigate the person's who bears the greatest responsibility. Or what we have heard when William Ruto was in Kisumu is that he is going to operationalize the compensation for those individuals. And that is not we in the opposition are calling for. We are calling for the prosecution of those persons who were responsible for those murders, because that is actually murder and extermination. So the people knows what they want. They want good governance. They want a government that will be ruled and governed by the rule of law and the constitution. That is the bare minimum that the people want. And in our campaigns and in our processes, we are telling the people that we are going to restore this country back to the path of the rule of law and constitutionalism. Because again, therein lies the solution to this country. The restoration of the rule of law, the restoration of constitutionalism will cure 80% of the problems that we have. For example, if it is individuals who died during the protest, we'll ask the system through the law to investigate, and the individuals will be brought to books. If it is corruption in SHA, 12 billion getting lost, and when a minister is put to task by a journalist, Jeff Koinange, how did this happen? He cannot explain. When he's told that you're actually supposed to resign, he blatantly and arrogantly asks why. It is in law that such kind of a problem can be resolved. So the promise of the restoration of the country back to the path of the rule of law is a promise to the people of Kenya that the constitution that dictates the manner in which, the form in which the people ought to be governed will be implemented, will solve the greatest problems that we have had for a long time in this country, be it corruption, be it corruption, be it the question of leadership, be it the integrity of the persons leading, it will be solved. By the way, as I pen off, I know it is going to pain people like Chargei to understand that the Constitution has even created the creed or the has given the yardsticks of leadership in the chapter 6 of leadership and integrity. An individual in the name or in the character of William Ruto who goes out insulting other leaders, who goes out lying blatantly to Kenyans, does not qualify to be a leader in the Republic of Kenya. If we were to implement the Constitution, and if we had an institution that would hold leaders to account as contemplated by the Constitution, that is to say that the Parliament is giving the requisite oversight to the executive, Mr. William Ruto today would be home. He would have been impeached by an impartial Parliament long time ago. That is a promise we are giving to Kenyans. And they are understanding us, they are listening to us, and they are hopeful that the government that we shall put into place come 2027 will be a government that will be premised on those two principles, the principle of the rule of law and constitutionalism. And I want Chargei to challenge me on that, whether it is proper for us to restore the rule of law and constitutionalism as the basis and mechanisms or the platform or the foundation for resolving the underlying Kenyan issues. I challenge him to rebut that preposition. Thank you.
Thank you.